Hi, this is Michael with Munching with Michael, and today we're going to do our first installment of Sourdough Saturdays. Today's episode is going to be a sourdough pan-style pizza. So we're going to start by making our dough, and we want the dough to sit anywhere from 24 to 8 hours. So the recipe I have is for two 10-inch cast irons, and we're going to start out with 350 grams of bread flour. Ten grams of salt, 8 grams of olive oil, 225 grams of water, and 100 grams of the sourdough starter. And we're just going to mix. After we're done mixing it, we're just going to put something on top to keep the air out. And then we're going to let it sit overnight, and we'll mess with it in the afternoon. Okay, it's the next day, and we can see that yeast is doing its thing. So we're just going to do a quick stretch. We have about 3 to 4 hours before we're actually going to put the pizza in, but just before, a few hours before you want to cook it, you're just going to want to do what's called the stretch and fold. So you're going to stretch it out, bring it in, turn it a little bit, stretch it out, bring it in, stretch it out, bring it in, and lastly, stretch it out and bring it in. I'm just going to kind of flip that over, and that's just going to kind of build some strength to the dough and mix it up a little bit more. Okay, so we're about an hour away from when I want to start baking. So we're going to put a healthy amount of extra virgin olive oil into the bottom of these pans. I'm going to kind of tighten it, get it well coated in the olive oil. Give it a little stretch. That's a little bit of dough. And then we'll cover these and come back in an hour. All right, so it's about time to start baking. So I'm going to take the tops off. Give it one more stretch. It's going to be a lot easier to work with now that we let it rest. Stretch it all the way to the edge. And now we build. So what makes this style special is you really gotta sauce it and cheese it all the way to the edge. And you're kind of looking for those burnt, or almost burnt parts that are touching the cast iron when you cook. Then you're going to toss this into pretty much as hot as your oven goes. Mine goes to 500, so I'm going to toss it in at 500. If it goes to 550, I would do 550. About 12-ish minutes. So I just pulled them out of the oven. And as you can see, the bottom isn't really done to my liking, so I'm just going to kind of heat it on the stove until it's crisp enough. So maybe under a medium to medium high heat. Alright, so it's been on there for a couple minutes. Things are looking much better. I'll give it one more minute and then pull it off. Alright, and there we have it. Cast iron sourdough pizza. I'll try to put the recipe in the description.
Mommy's, Daddy's.
Yep, and that's who Rennie, Mommy, and Daddy are going to eat some pizza.